Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Life of Wonders. As you know, this is Polo, and I love making videos of dolls, toys, and Disney collectibles. And as always, if you like this kind of content and you feel like supporting the channel, then you already know what to do. So today's today, and we're going to be unboxing and reviewing in detail the 100 or celebrating 100 years of wonder collector's Cinderella doll by Mattel Creations. Now, I've been very much looking forward to get these dolls, and I got them all, both the 100 themed ones as well as the complete Radiance collection around Christmas time, and I'm going to start reviewing them now. I want to do individual reviews, and then I might also do comparisons with previous early 2000s Mattel creations for Disney, as well as the 90s signature versions of these characters as well, to see the differences and all that. These one in particular, this one and Tiana, which are the ones that are under the 100 Years of Wonder slogan, were a topic of controversy because apparently, well, the retail price for them originally was like 50 US dollars. For me, it was just like that. I think it was just over 50 euros. I think that they were reduced further through Amazon to 35 or 39.99 US dollars plus taxes, I believe. Anyway, the thing is that apparently these dolls weren't reaching the collector's status for the price given, and we're going to be exploring that. I will give you my honest review, and we're going to be exploring her up close 360. First thing that I noticed is the box, and I'm really nicely surprised by it. I think that probably I was just like very much and upset with what I originally um, I don't know, was like prejudging that I wasn't expecting much, to be honest. But the box is really pretty. It's quite wide and it's sturdy, and then it has this very beautiful window display. We have the Disney collector logo right there, and then we have Cinderella Disney 100 right here, and it's iridescent. And then we have like what appears to be like a diamond shape design all throughout the outer part of it, and then in the inner part we have this magic extravaganza going on for the background. A stand is also included, which is great because I would say that is a mandatory thing for a collector doll. And then moving on to both sides, we can find the same, the continuation of the design. It's very contemporary in a way. And then on the back we find this beautiful sketch of Cinderella, and then it's in 4 different languages, and it reads Disney 100 Cinderella. To commemorate Disney 100 Years of Wonder, this collector Cinderella doll gets the platinum treatment, wearing a luxe fashion inspired by her memorable blue gown from the movie. Cinderella sparkles in satin, glitter, and an elegant diamond motif. A dream come true for your doll collection. Now, that is very cute and very adorable to include that kind of like introduction, and yeah, um, that very nice description for our doll. Although I'm not sure. I mean, I yeah, so there will be satin, glitter, definitely here, and then the diamond motif, I believe, is that piece of like chromatic silver plastic. But anyway, that is their attempt. I will be taking her out of the box, and we can explore her so much better. Alright, so she's already out of the box, and I have so much to say, starting with the base that we have over here. It's a saddle stand with the click portion that will go in between her legs. That means she will be very secure in there. And then the base, which is very basic, but I love the design. It has a pearlescent touch and then a swirly pattern all around, as well as the Disney logo all textured in there. The only thing is that it's already looking a bit yellow to me, so I don't know how that is going to age. But anyway, the stand is included. And now moving on to the doll, I have to say that I already cut a little bit of her bangs, because this portion over here were so much longer than this portion over here, and I just had to do it straight away off camera. But anyway, this is how she looks, and I have to say that, well, the first impression, just looking at the good stuff, is that I love her shade for the hair. I think it's so much more closer to the original, sort of like a strawberry blonde that Cinderella sports in the animation, as opposed to like this super platinum, sometime yellow tones that we've seen for the shop Disney interpretations of her. So that is something that I very much like. The hat is saran, although it's like solid rock, because it's just embedded in gel all throughout to achieve this hairstyle. But I have to say that she looks rather good. I mean, hair wise, I love how they've achieved the bun. There's like a couple of different shades of blonde there, so strawberry blonde and quite possibly a bit of an ashy tone as well, all blended really nicely. And then I love her face, so I think that this is the very same sculpt that they're using for the playline, but the screening is different and no wonkiness. And in terms of pixel, let me see, I don't know, probably a little bit for the lips, but the eyes seem to be very well defined. So that is cool. I think that one of the things I love most is definitely her face as well as the hair. So those are super really nice points here. She's really pretty. She has a bit of like a shimmery lip color. Um, and then when it comes to jewelry, she has the headband that this time around seems to be like a piece of plastic that resembles like a I don't know, like crystal um, version of her um, headband. And then she has these removable little gems in clear plastic, and no choker. So she doesn't have her iconic choker, she doesn't have her gloves. And I'm okay in the way that this is a reinterpretation. It doesn't have to be like the gown from the movie necessarily, and that is something that I've always appreciated from new releases, because otherwise it would be very boring getting the same doll over and over again. um, and I've seen the sketches of the artwork that was used for creating these dolls, and I think that the a few of the people that got these as PR, that is like the influencers, got those pieces of artwork, and I wish that was incorporated with these dolls, like probably on the back of the box or just like a poster inside, because that will have added a bit more of an insight of what was the inspiration to create this version of the gown. Plus the sketches are really beautiful, so I think that they miss the chance to include that for all of us collectors there, and it's something that I'm definitely missing. Now, the gown isn't supposed to be the one that we see in the movie. It's like another version. It's like a celebration version of it. It has a cocktail cut that is it isn't going all the way to the floor. It's probably just like around the ankles, but then it's actually shorter than that, because the layer that is going to the ankles is like the see-through tulle, so it's a very short version, but then again it's quite original in a way. So that is something that I appreciate. The first sort of like thing that comes to my mind is a comparison to the holiday special deluxe Disney style Cinderella released by Hasbro about 3 years ago. I think it had a really similar design and concept to it, and it feels somewhat similar in a way. Although I think that the materials used for this one are slightly better than those that we could find for that Hasbro special, but that Hasbro special also came with a plastic motif as well as a base. So in those terms, those are similar. Now the shade of the base for the gown is this satin. Well, you see, it's a thick satin material, but then if I touch it, it's also a bit it isn't like the softest. Like I would say it isn't like papery thin, and it's thicker than that, but isn't the softest sort of like satin. It's more of like a hard plasticky satin, and it looks pretty cool. I love the shade of it. But yeah, I mean it is not like super flowy, if that makes sense. Then it has the puffy sleeves made out of like this chiffon material, and this is how the color has been achieved. Then this applique is sewn onto the dress around here, and it's cool, although I wish that was removable in a way, because I feel it is a bit tacky. I'm sorry to say this, but I feel, yeah, I think that maybe if the motive had been a little bit smaller, but the fact that it is quite big and taking a big portion of it, it feels a bit tacky to me, even though I appreciate that once again it's something new. Um, then what else? Okay, so we have these two panels that to me resemble like a bow. And that is very similar to what we could find in that deluxe version of Disney style Cinderella. But this time around is made out of this papery material that probably they chose on purpose because it looks more like a ribbon, like a gift or present ribbon. Um, and then it has the sparkle on it, and it isn't bad. I mean, I think it looks cool. I mean, it's taking inspiration of like the second layer of the actual Cinderella gown, but in a different style that would be more of a celebration one. And then everything comes together on the back, and then it has Velcro. And then one thing I never like, it's when they connect these two layers or different layers on the back like so. I think that reduces a lot of movement, and I really don't like how it looks, to be honest. Like I don't know why they did that. Probably for the purpose of it being together, and I don't know, but I wish this was like completely separate. So the outer layer has these sparkles and stars with glitter, and the glitter isn't shedding much, although a little bit, though the pattern at least continues all the way around, which is something to appreciate. Now, she doesn't come with any, not even underwear, but not any petticoat or anything like that. It's just like a piece of cardboard that would allow us to create the volume or to keep the volume of the dress a little better. So basically, it's two layers. It's the thin, super thin tulle layer with the glitter and the stars, and then the thick um, plasticky, and I have to say, because it could be so much. Probably they chose this because again it would keep this shape better, but I love when they are giving us like a softer satin than this is. At least it's hemmed and all that. Um, so that is what I can say. Now, all right. So another thing is, I will be comparing her. I think I will be taking the gown off, and then comparing her body with a standard classic doll from Disney store of Cinderella, as well as a standard body Barbie doll. Because the thing is, the dimensions that Mattel is using for the Disney princesses is completely different to that of a classic Disney doll or a standard um, Barbie doll, which is something that I don't particularly like as much, because that will or that would allow us to actually interchange outfit pieces as well as the shoes. And one of the things that for sure cannot be used are the shoes, because these feet are bigger than any standard that would come to be more realistic, such as the Disney Store classic dolls, even the newer ones with a thicker body, and Barbie. And that is something that I don't understand, why they're giving us these more cartoony sort of like proportions. I mean, they're trying to give us like different body shapes, I think, and heights, and I will be comparing those when I have all unboxed. But then I don't like that it still feels like cartoony. Whereas as a collector thing, I would appreciate it very much if it could look a bit more realistic. So what I will be doing right now is taking her outfit off her, and then we're going to see the differences between these three bodies, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so here we have the three different dolls, and I think that the differences are very noticeable now. So right over here we have a classic Cinderella doll from Shop Disney, and then right over here we have a standard semi-articulated Barbie doll. And I really wish Mattel had given us the same proportions as Barbie at least, but they haven't. And so that is something that is like weird for some reason, and it's something that I don't particularly like as much. So if we get closer to them, we can see that they have attempted to give us a more realistic look for the face and the hair, and this is what I was just referring earlier. Like, what the heck? I mean, this Cinderella has like super platinum yellow, almost like badly bleached blonde, and then this one here feels like so much better. Um, but then the dimensions, obviously, the belly is so much thicker right now than the previous Shop Disney ones that were like quite thin. Not as much as the 90s ones though, so those bodies have changed so much, and that is something that is cool because it's very similar to the standard of Barbie, but then they have shrunk both the shoulders and the bust area. Why? I don't understand. Probably because they want them to feel more like teens, maybe, and with like a smaller yeah, like a smaller size around that. But then that is when the proportions start feeling a bit cartoonish, because the shoulders aren't as wide, the bust area isn't as wide either, although the belly is. Then the proportions for the legs are really, really close, but the feet are different, being so much thicker than both a standard shop Disney or a standard Barbie, which means that, for example, these are the shoes, by the way, that this Cinderella comes with, and they're really pretty. They are translucent with embedded glitter, and there's this like sort of like Swarovski cut, almost like again like a glass cut to them that resembles. It reminds me of that of the live action in a way. Uh, but anyhow, if we take the shoe off, then we can see this foot, which might look like a model muse, but again, it's bigger than that. And so, if we're using these shoes for a standard um, shop Disney, we can see that it's far too big. It is just so big. And then if we're using it for a standard Barbie, it is again so big. So I really don't know why they're giving us this bigger feet and but smaller shoulders. I don't know, these proportions are weird, in my opinion. And I really wish they were like similar, a little bit closer to Barbie. Um, Although I feel like it's close enough that the dress might still fit an articulated Barbie, or definitely this one over here too, but the shoes won't fit. That is one thing for sure. So I am going to be trying the outfit in these two dolls so you can see how the outfit fits, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so here we can see the fit of the gown for a classic Disney Store Cinderella doll, and I have to say that I love the result. I feel like I don't know, it fits her even better, and probably it is because this one has articulation, and so the articulation adds to the complexity of it, and it makes the whole ensemble to look much better, which is again, it could have been so easy to add just a little bit more of articulation for the doll, and it's just like looking so much better. And the height is pretty cool as well. It's just a pity that we can't use the shoes, but this is the fit, and now we'll see the same fit on Barbie. Here we can see the feet on Barbie, and once again, I love it. I think that it elevates this dress to a different level. Just the fact that the doll has more articulation, so it fits really nicely. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it could still be closed on the back. And then, yeah, I kind of like it very much. Um, I even love like the height for Barbie as well. It's just a pity that the shoes wouldn't be recyclable for other dolls, but the dress, it's really pretty on these different dolls. And now um, I'll give you my final thoughts. So, final thoughts on this doll. I would say I could easily give this doll a 6.5 out of 10 if I'm completely honest, which isn't too bad because I was expecting so much less. Um, but it's a pretty doll, and I think there's a lot of potential. I love the fact that they are giving us this very beautiful face screening and the beautiful hair, and that is just like a big plus for me. And then I also appreciate that they are giving us like a new concept for her gown, which is obviously inspired in her iconic one, but it's different. And that is something that I appreciate. I would say it could have looked much better if the doll base had some more articulation, and that is something I have come to realize after I tried it on a Disney classic doll as well as a semi-articulated Barbie, that apparently the dress looked a bit more luxurious because of that. So maybe just like an elbow articulation, such as the one that came with Alice, would have made a difference. um, and that is like yeah, like another or sort of like grade for this doll, then I appreciate that we're given a stand with it. But I'm not quite convinced about the new princess proportions that Mattel is using for these dolls. I mean, I wish the proportions would be closer to those of Barbie in a way. But I'm very happy that I decided to get this Cinderella doll because again it's very pretty. I love her face. I will definitely be giving her some articulation in the near future. I'm just waiting to do the unboxing of every single doll from this line and any other line from Mattel, so I could give you rankings and comparisons and things like that. um, but yeah, overall I think it's a really nice collectible. It's just that it could have been improved by changing a few basic things on the outfit and adding some articulation to the doll. I very much hope you've enjoyed this review and it's been helpful, just trying to cover everything that I thought it was important to consider when collecting these dolls. And if that is the case, well, don't forget to give me a like. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, I will be more than happy to get back to all of you. For now, stay safe and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.